everybody, and welcome to Cooking with Francois. Well, today we're going to do something very, very fall-y. I guess that's a word. Who knows with me. And we're going to make apple butter in our pressure cooker. Basically, you can use several different types of apples. Usually a tart apple is better. So I have got two different types. I've got Fuji's and I've got Granny Smith's. You need 5.5 pounds of apples. And we're going to peel the apples using my apple peeler, but not use the slicer part. And of course, you've seen me use this before. So I'm going to cut all of the apples like this. And then I'm going to quarter them and put them into my pot. Don't worry, not going to make you watch. So I'm getting ready to do my apples. I have already gotten ready for when I'm finished. I have boiled, and they're still hot, my jars that I'm going to process some of them, and some of them I'm going to put in containers because you can also freeze it. It's also good for a whole week in your refrigerator. So, I'm going to peel up some apples, and when I'm finished, and the pot's full of them, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients and we're going to get started. So, stay tuned. All right, I'm back. I've done all of the apples. It says to cut them into quarters or 6 pieces, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just using my apple slicer here. And it's actually doing 8. Might cook a little bit faster, which that's not a problem either. So, we've got that done. Get that out of the way. Some of the trash here out of the way. And now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Then we're going to give them a little bit of a stir. And then we're going to get started. So, we have cinnamon, of which we use 4 teaspoons. Let me find the good old teaspoon measure. Well, there's a 1/2 teaspoon, so instead of 4, we'll do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 7, 8. Might be a little bit extra, but that's okay too. All right. The recipe didn't actually call for it, but I saw someone else put a little bit of nutmeg, so I'm going to put about 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Then we're going to use some brown sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar. So here we go. This is actually a 1/2 cup measure. And that, you know me, that looks good. Then we've got 2 tablespoons of vanilla. This is a 1/2 tablespoon measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. You noticed I did not remind you this time that if you don't use good vanilla, you might as well not cook at all. Well, I guess I just did remind you, didn't I? Well, anyway. So, and then it says 1/3 of a cup of water. Well, here again, I'm sort of deviating from what they said because I prefer to use either apple cider or apple juice when I make mine. So, 1/3 of a cup of apple juice. A little bit of apple flavor concentrated does not hurt at all. And I did forget one ingredient, which I think I have down on my desk, so I'll be right back. Well, I went down and got my ground cloves, and we use 1 teaspoon of that also. So let's see here. Oh gosh, well, I'm just going to take the top off. I didn't take it off the other way. I probably should have. These I'm measuring a little bit closer, I guess, than I normally do on the cloves. You just want to watch. It's a strong flavor. Okay, I'm going to stir these up so the spices are on everything. So I'm going to go over it again with you. Remember, using a pressure cooker, you always have to have some liquid. And that's what we used the apple juice for. So we had 5½ pounds of firm, preferably tart apples, 5½ pounds. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of vanilla, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cloves, 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and 1/3 of a cup of liquid. They say water, I say apple juice, potato, whatever you want to do. I also put just a little bit of nutmeg in mine. So, we're now going to put the top on the pressure cooker, set it to pressure, and we're going to cook this for 15 minutes. Then, we're going to let it release naturally for 20. Of course, I'll be right back for you, but it's going to be about 40 minutes for me. So, see you directly. Well, we're back. Our 20 minutes is up. We cooked it for 15, high pressure. Then we have let it release naturally for 20 minutes. Now we're going to release the rest of the steam. Don't know how much is in there, probably not much, I don't know. But we're going to let out the steam, and then we'll move on to our next step. I've already taken my bottles out of the water bath, but there's another step we might have to take. So, keep tuned in. Well, I thought it was going to take some time, but it didn't. This is the second batch. All right. I'm going to put this back into the pot and mix in the other and see what I think about the thickness of it. Need some napkins to put this on so I don't make too big of a mess. Stir it up. You know, personally, I like mine a little bit thicker than this. So I'm going to let it simmer just for a few minutes with the top on, and then we'll be back, and I'll let you know how long I let it simmer. But you can be your own judge as far as this is concerned. So, we'll be back after a little simmering takes place.
thought you might want to see it simmering away here. It's just about ready for me. So let's get ready to put it in our containers.
All right. I think it's the consistency that I personally want. I have turned my water on so that I can process this, because I can do it while this is hot. I cannot put it into the plastic containers until it cools down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in my jars just to show you what it looks like. Remember to leave a little bit of space at the top, and then you put your band on it. There we go. And right there. Let's do another one. There you go. And then for half pints, we need to boil them in a water bath, which is what I'm doing over here, for 5 minutes. And then take them out and let them cool. And while they cool, they will seal. These will be good definitely up to a year, maybe a little bit longer. Remember, if you freeze it in a container like this, it is also good for a year, but if you put this in your refrigerator, it's good for a week. Okay, I got these that have these little things on top that'll let the steam and stuff out, and I'm going to put a little bit in this one just so I can taste it and see how good we did. This would be wonderful on a hot buttered biscuit, but I can't have a biscuit. I've been such a good boy and lost my 80 pounds. Oh, that's so good. It's a little tartar than what you get in the store, but that depends on you. This doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup in it either. If you want it sweeter, add some more brown sugar. But still remember, it's best to use a firm, tart apple when you're making your apple butter. So, until next time, let